Have you ever made a gardening mistake so bad that you wanted to keep it to yourself? Well, I did. And this season, I may have actually destroyed nearly 90% of my tomato crop because of one simple mistake I didn't even realize I was making. What makes this even worse is that I've been gardening for years. I know better. Or at least I thought I did. So today I'm going to show you exactly what happened. How I accidentally spread early blight throughout my entire tomato patch. The warning signs that I missed and how you can avoid making the same mistake. So let's start from the beginning. A few weeks ago, one of my tomato plants started showing some unusual symptoms. The lower leaves were turning a little bit yellow. Then I noticed a few dark spots forming on the leaves near the bottom of the plant. At first, I really wasn't overly concerned. Most gardeners see yellow leaves on tomatoes from time to time. It can be stress, watering issues, nutrient deficiencies, or simply older leaves just dying off. So I grabbed my pruning shears and started removing some of the affected leaves. The problem is what I did next. After cutting those diseased leaves, I immediately moved on to the next tomato plant to give it a little bit of airflow. And then the next one, and then the next one, without ever cleaning my pruning shears. At the time, I didn't think too much about it. The shears actually looked clean. There wasn't anything obvious stuck on the blades. But what I couldn't see was the disease that I was carrying from plant to plant. Over the following weeks, I started noticing something really disturbing. More plants began showing some of the same symptoms, then even more. And soon, it wasn't just one plant anymore. It was spreading throughout my entire garden. Leaves started yellowing. Brown spots started to appear. Plants began losing their foliage. And before long, nearly every single tomato plant was showing signs of infection. That's when I realized the common factor. The only thing that had touched every single plant was me and my pruning shears. So let's talk about what early blight actually is. Early blight is a fungal disease that commonly affects the tomatoes and potatoes. They usually start in the older leaves near the bottom of the plant. You'll often see dark brown spots with concentric rings that almost look like a target. As the disease progresses, the leaves yellow, they dry out, and they eventually die. When enough foliage is lost, the plant struggles to photosynthesize efficiently and effectively. That means less energy for growth and fruit production. In severe cases, yields can be reduced dramatically, and that's exactly what's happening right now in my garden. The frustrating part is that I thought I was helping my plants by removing those affected leaves, and removing infected leaves can be a good practice. The problem was my sanitation practices. Every cut became an opportunity to spread the disease. Now, to be fair, early blight can spread in several ways. Spores can splash up from the soil onto the leaves during watering or rain. Wind can actually move the spores around the garden. High humidity can actually accelerate the disease development. But I essentially just gave the disease a first-class ticket from plant to plant. Looking back, there were warning signs. The disease always seemed to appear shortly after pruning. Plants that looked perfectly healthy eventually developed the same symptoms, and the pattern followed the exact order in which I had worked through the garden. If you've ever wondered whether sanitizing your pruning tools really matters, let me tell you from experience, it absolutely does. So today, my routine looks totally different. Whenever I'm pruning tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, or any other plant that could be carrying disease, I keep a disinfectant spray nearby. After working on a diseased plant, I clean the blades before moving on to the next plant. It only takes a few seconds, and those few seconds can save months and months of work. Another lesson I learned is to inspect the plants more carefully before pruning. If I see signs of disease, I isolate that plant mentally and treat it differently. I don't move directly from that plant to a healthy plant without cleaning my tools. I also remove the infected debris from the garden. Leaving diseased leaves on the ground can allow fungal spores to survive and continue causing you problems. Now, good airflow is another important factor. Tomato plants packed too closely together, they stay wetter longer, creating an environment where diseases thrive. Pruning for airflow, spacing your plants properly, and avoiding overhead watering, they can all help reduce disease pressure. Now, did sanitizing my shears cause every single early blight problem in this garden? Probably not. I am convinced that it accelerated the spread and made a bad decision even much worse. That's a hard lesson to learn. You've invested months of work in your garden, from seedlings to transplanting to fertilizing to watering and staking and pruning all these plants. All that effort is affected by one small oversight. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Not because I'm proud of what happened, but because gardening isn't just about showing that perfect harvest. It's also about sharing mistakes. Some of the most valuable lessons I've learned came from failures. This season definitely gave me one of those lessons. If you're out there and you're pruning your tomatoes this week, take an extra minute to sanitize your tools. It seems like it's really something small, but trust me, it's not. I've learned this lesson the hard way, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. If you've ever made a gardening mistake that taught you an important lesson, let me know down in the comments, what was that lesson? I'd love to hear about it. And if this video's helped you save even one tomato plant harvest, maybe this mistake wasn't a total loss after all. Don't forget to like and share this video so no one else will make this same mistake. Think about subscribing to the channel, and also hit that bell notification to be notified when I put out a new video. And like always, keep it growing.